So, when you think of Coral Gables, Florida, what comes to mind? I bet it's those gorgeous Mediterranean homes, right? The famous Biltmore Hotel, that incredible canopy of old trees. I mean, it's paradise. But what if I told you that just underneath all that perfection, there's a war? A relentless, hidden war being fought every single day.
So, why? Why is this picture perfect city a secret battleground for its own plumbing? Well, let's dive in, because the answer is it's a wild story. It's about geology, it's about history, and believe it or not, it's about the very things that make the city so beautiful in the first place. We're going to peel back those perfect lawns and see what's really going on.
You know, keeping up that illusion of perfection, it takes a ton of work, and most of it is a constant, invisible struggle. It's a fight against these incredibly powerful forces that are literally working 24/7 to tear the city's plumbing apart. And that's what makes this whole thing so fascinating, right? This contrast. Above ground, it's all calm, historic, just beautiful. But literally just a few feet under your feet, it's a high-stakes war against nature and time. And one wrong move, one burst pipe, can turn that paradise into an absolute nightmare in a matter of minutes. All right, so let's meet our enemies. Who are the bad guys in this underground war? Well, ironically, the first culprits are the exact things that make South Florida, well, South Florida. We're talking about the ground itself and all that gorgeous greenery. Yeah, you heard that right. Culprit number one is the ground. And what's so wild is that the problem starts with the literal foundation of the city. The very earth Coral Gables is built on is, well, it's actively trying to destroy the pipes buried inside it. It's incredibly hostile. Okay, so here's the deal. The whole city is built on this porous limestone bedrock. Now you combine that with a super high water table, and what do you get? The ground is just saturated with this mineral-rich, super aggressive groundwater, and that water is constantly attacking the pipes, just eating away at them, causing corrosion. But wait, there's more. In some spots, you've got clay soils that shift and move, putting all this physical stress on the pipe joints, creating these little hidden leaks. It's like a two-pronged attack coming from the ground itself. So, as if the ground itself wasn't enough to deal with, the next enemy is, get this, one of the city's most beloved features. We're talking about that iconic, beautiful, mature tree canopy. Yep, those gorgeous old trees, they're actually a huge threat to the whole system. And this really paints a picture of the battle, doesn't it? Think about those massive banyan and oak trees. Their roots are on a mission. They are relentlessly searching for water. And guess where they find a perfect source? Yep, the sewer lines. So they just invade, they grow, they expand, and they create these absolutely crippling blockages. Oh, and for the lucky folks in the eastern parts of the city, that salty air blowing in from Biscayne Bay, that just adds a whole other layer of corrosive attack to the mix. It never stops. But it's not just Mother Nature. Some of the biggest problems, well, they're man-made. It's kind of like a ghost in the machine, a problem left behind from decades ago. Decisions that seemed fine way back when are causing absolute disasters today, especially in all those beautiful historic homes. And this right here, this year is the magic number, 1980. It's a critical dividing line. If your home in Coral Gables was built before 1980, there is a very, very good chance you are sitting on a ticking time bomb. It's hidden in your walls, under your floors, just waiting. So what is this ticking time bomb? It's something called galvanized steel pipes. For decades, this was the standard stuff. But here's the problem. It is completely wrong for the Coral Gables environment. Remember that aggressive groundwater we talked about? It just chews through these pipes from the inside out. They rust up, the water flow gets choked off, and eventually, boom, total failure. And that's what's so sneaky, so dangerous about it. This isn't usually some big, dramatic pipe burst you see immediately. Nope, it starts as this silent, hidden decay. We're talking about tiny pinhole leaks that you can't see, happening inside your walls. They can go on for months, wasting incredible amounts of water and just slowly, silently destroying your home structure before you have any clue there's even a problem. Okay, so how do you fight a war like this? A war on so many fronts? Well, you fight back with modern tech and modern smarts. Let's take a look at the expert's toolkit, the modern counterattack that professionals are using to save these homes. All right, weapon number one is all about the materials. Forget that old, vulnerable galvanized steel. Today's solutions use stuff like PEX, which is basically this strong, flexible plastic tubing that aggressive groundwater can't touch. It just resists the corrosion. Even when using a classic material like copper, it has to be a special alloy to handle the local water. So choosing the right material from the get-go, that's how you start winning this war. And the tools themselves have gotten a major upgrade. I mean, today, plumbers can literally send a tiny camera down your pipes to see exactly where a tree root is causing trouble. They can use these amazing trenchless repair methods, which means they can fix a pipe without digging up your entire historic lawn. They can install root barriers to block those invading roots and backflow preventers to keep your water safe. It's not brute force anymore. It's a super targeted, high-tech approach. And what all this does is transform what could be a total disaster, that feeling of chaotic panic, into a totally controlled process. One call gets an expert to your door, they give you a clear diagnosis and a plan you can approve. Then the repair gets done right, and they test it to make sure it's solid. It's all about bringing order to that chaos that's bubbling up from under the surface. So you might be thinking, okay, this is a really specific story about one city in Florida. But what's so interesting is that this hyper-local story, it actually tells a much bigger, universal story, one that applies to pretty much all of us. So let's zoom out for a minute. Look, the problems in Coral Gables are unique to that place, right? The porous limestone, the banyan trees, those old pre-1980 pipes. But the big idea here is universal. Your city, your town, wherever you live, it has its own unique mix of geology, history, and climate. And that combination is waging its own secret war on the pipes and wires and roads that you depend on every single day. And that's really the final thought I want to leave you with. This whole story of Coral Gables, it's not just about Florida. It's a powerful reminder that underneath every street, every lawn, there is this incredibly complex, hidden world. So the real question is, what hidden infrastructure war is being waged right under your feet? It's kind of wild to think about, isn't it?